Hey guys, OMAD here. So it's Saturday morning and I'm just kind of waking up and getting situated for the day. And I thought I'd do a quick video on fear. You know, a lot of people, when you tell them that you're on OMAD, their automatic knee-jerk response is, I could never. Oh my gosh, how can you possibly go that long without eating? I'd starve to death. I would die. And I've heard that so many times. I would die. And it's like, no, you wouldn't. But then you think back to when I started for myself, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, going 23 hours without food. But at the same time, I was that person that ate 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then had snacks in between, in between breakfast and lunch, in between lunch and dinner, and after dinner. So the whole premise of, wow, not eating for 23 hours every single day, I guess that really is daunting, isn't it? And it evokes almost a primal fear, because we live in a society where instant gratification is a thing. Lord knows, if you want something to eat, it doesn't matter what time of day or night, it's readily available. I mean, it's not like it used to be in days gone by, centuries ago, where you had to work for your food. Now it's just, boom, it's right there. So I imagine that deprivation, that feeling of not getting instant gratification, is a scary thing for people. And I guess my rebuttal to that is, what's more important to you? Shoveling that food in your mouth, or living longer and being, healthy? And for those of us that are, overweight and have eating not disorders, but eating addictions, OMAD, or intermittent fasting, is a great way to get control of those. And in so doing, you also get in control of your life, right? So forgive me, I'm sitting on this window seat here in my room, and I was going to try and show the background, but when I show the background, I become very, very dark. So I don't know if that's a good idea. So I'm kind of bouncing around here trying to find the right light. It's called experimenting, right? That's what we do. We experiment. Anyways, so the point of this video is, a lot of people say, don't talk about what you're doing. Don't tell people you're doing OMAD, because they'll judge you and they instantly get that fear response. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, your circle of friends are different than mine. Your family's different than mine. But I look at it as an opportunity to educate. Now that I'm down around 40 pounds, maybe a little more, we'll find out on Monday, but now that I'm down a bit and people notice that I've lost weight, I do get a lot of questions. Wow, what did you do? What are you doing? How are you doing that? And I'm honest, because to me, I look at it as a way to inform, to educate, to let people know that there really is a way to gain control of your weight and your health. And it isn't impossible. And as scary as it sounds, once you get into it and you start doing it, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I know those people that are so afraid of it and think, oh, I could never go that long without eating. I just want to tell them, I didn't think I could either. I really didn't. I never for a minute thought that I could go 24 hours, let alone almost 48 hours. Oh my gosh. But you can. And for those of you that are doing it, you got to admit, when you see your timer, or that you've hit your 24 or 23 hours, it's a real sense of accomplishment, isn't it? It just makes you feel like, hey, I did it. I can do this. And every time it happens, every day, when you've hit your goal and you've gone 23 hours or 20 hours or 48 hours or whatever it is you're doing in your path here, it gives you a real sense of, I did something. I've got some control over my life. Now, hey, I'm not here to fool nobody, okay? I know that we've all caved. We've all had missteps. We've all fallen off the wagon a little bit here and there. Guilty. I have more times than I care to admit. But even having done that, we know, because we've made our goal, because we've done the 24 hours or the 48 hours or the 18 hours or the 20 hours, that we know we have that in our pocket now. We know we're capable of doing that without fear. Without fear. Because we know we can, and we did it, and we survived it. And it was hard, but it wasn't impossible. So when you're telling people what you're doing, I guess my suggestion is be honest. educate people. Let them know, eating 3 times a day spikes your insulin 3 times a day. 3 times a day. And if you're a normal person and you're eating, the average person in our society, and you're eating not only 3 meals a day, but you're snacking too, you're spiking your insulin that many more times a day. And every time you spike that insulin, you're hurting your body. You're hurting yourself. You're actually doing damage to your body. People need to know this, and I feel like it's our responsibility to let them know that, because ignorance is not bliss, folks. For me, ignorance almost cost me my life. The listening to the age-old things that our parents told us, you must eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and there's nothing wrong with a couple of snacks, and you need to eat at least 3 times a day. I listened to that and believed that almost my entire life, right? Because I'm 57, so that's a long time. And it's not true. It's just not true. And if we don't start sharing it and letting people know, then we're doing a disservice, aren't we? We're letting them live in ignorance. And again, for me, ignorance, my own ignorance, almost caused my death, untimely death. And I don't ever want to find out that somebody, that I could have or should have told about this died untimely because of high blood pressure or because of obesity. I feel some responsibility there, because again, when you know better, you do better. But if you don't know better, how can you do better, right? So, I still know people that are doing the yo-yo dieting, that are jumping on the bandwagon for all these fad diets. Fasting is not a fad diet. Fasting is not a fad. Fasting is something that's been going on since the dawn of man. Okay, every religion has some facet of fasting involved in it. Fasting is for real, people. This is the real way to go. We've got to help eliminate that fear factor that comes with the word fasting. Most of us, those of us that are older, the closest we've come to being educated about fasting is when we have to go get tested at the doctor's office, right? And we have to be fasted before they can do the blood work. And it's torture. Oh my gosh. It's like, wait, I can't eat for 12 hours? What? I can't drink coffee? I can't what? And we get really stressed out about it. And then we go home and we go, oh my gosh, I have to fast before I go back to the doctor's. And we turn it into this big ordeal. We've all been there. Come on, admit it. We've all been there, or at least we know somebody who has. And then now, the last time I went for blood work was right before I moved here to Nevada. I went just to double check and make sure everything's cool, which by the way it is. But it was funny because I walked in and she said, okay, so we're going to do blood work today. And I said, yeah, I want to see the differences. And she said, and I assume you have fasted. And I said, yes, I have. She goes, well, this particular set of blood tests, you need to be fasted for 8 to 10 hours. I think that's what she said. Maybe she said 10 hours. And I laughed and I said, well, I'm at like 22. So I think we're good. And she got a real kick out of that because, the average person that comes in there is like, fast for 10 hours? What? No, that's not a thing. I can't do that. I'll die. We won't die. You won't die. You won't die. Hand to God, I swear to you, you will not die. Fasting is not as bad as you think. And I do feel like we hold some responsibility, those of us that know that and have this tool in our pockets now, to share that information and to help it become more mainstream. Just what fasting can do for inflammation in our bodies, are you kidding? That all by itself is life-changing. It's life-changing. So, I've watched a few videos that have said, well, just don't tell people. Just don't tell people what you're doing because they're going to tell you you're wrong. They're going to tell you it's dangerous. They're going to tell you that you're starving your body. And you're right. They are going to tell you that because they're living in the ignorance that we all once lived in. Isn't it kind of incumbent upon us to open their eyes as ours have been? And I don't know, that old saying, treat your brother the way you would treat yourself, treat your neighbor the way you would treat yourself. I kind of live by that. And heck, if somebody had been doing this for the 4 or 5 months that I've been doing it and they didn't tell me about what this can do for your health, I'd be genuinely mad. I would. I'd be angry that I've spent all these years yo-yo dieting and you knew about this and didn't tell me. to me, I would be upset because I want to know, I want to learn, I want to grow. I mean, that's who I am as an individual. I want to grow. And how can I if I don't have all the information? So, a lot of you will probably disagree with me, and a lot of you will say, oh, no, 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 this is a private journey, and we don't need to share this with others. And it's your prerogative, it is, but I just don't look at it that way, I guess. I just don't see it that way. I see it more in the way of we have information that not everybody has, but it's information that everybody needs. My blood work, FYI, was phenomenal, as fully expected. My blood pressure is back to normal. If you remember when I started this just 4.5 months ago, almost 5 months, I guess it's been 5 months, my blood pressure was in the stroke zone, people. My doctor was actually afraid that I was going to have a stroke. And now it's normal. It's normal. I mean, come on. I don't take medication. I don't have to. I'm 57 years old and I'm not on medication. Doesn't that say something? The inflammation markers in my body were almost non-existent. I don't have any inflammation because I'm not spiking my insulin all day, every day. So this isn't just about weight loss, people. It isn't just about, letting your obese friends or your friends that are a little overweight know about it. It's about health. It's about health. These misnomers that we've been told all our lives, this false information that really derived from the freaking companies and the food industry and fast food industry and the preservatives industries and the drug industries. All of these things that we've been told are garbage, and we all know it. Everybody that's watching this knows it or is finding it out right now, and you're having your own epiphany. Don't you think that there's people in your world that could benefit from this knowledge as well? And don't you think it's selfish to not share it with them? Yes, you're going to get judged. Yes, people are going to react out of fear. And they are. And they're going to tell you you're crazy and you're starving your body and this is wrong. And that's not what the FDA tells us to do. That's not what the doctors tell us to do. You're wrong. That's all right. That's okay, because you're getting healthier. And they're going to see you getting healthier. And they're going to see that this works. So even if initially they tell you you're crazy, a couple months later, go back and say, hello, am I still crazy? I mean, really, really. Education is the key in every aspect of our lives. We have to keep growing. We have to keep learning, because that's what keeps us alive, right? And I say that with 100% sincerity and honesty. If it weren't for OMAD, if it weren't for intermittent fasting, I may not be here right now. It saved my life. And that is not an exaggeration at all, in any way, shape, or form. It saved my life. Don't we owe it to those we care about and those in our circles to share that information and potentially save their lives? So, if you're just contemplating starting fasting or you've been doing intermittent fasting and now you're contemplating doing OMAD, don't let the fear stop you. Please don't let the fear stop you, because fear is not real. Fear is not real. Fear is your body's way of protecting you from death. You're not going to die. You're not going to die. You're going to feel better than you ever have. You are going to feel better than you ever have once you get used to doing OMAD. It takes 2 weeks, and 2 to 3 weeks depending on your body, and it's hard. It's not easy. It's hard. It is. But if you can get through that first couple weeks, you will be amazed at how you feel. All right, okay, I've droned on long enough, but I just really felt the need to get that out today. So, information is key, folks. Let's share the information. Share my videos. Talk to your friends. Let them know what's going on. Tell them what you're doing. Show them your own results. Let's convert people and get them out of this conditioned mindset where we're supposed to eat 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day, because we're not. Our bodies are not made for that. All right, we are in this together. Gosh, I almost forgot my own catchphrase. Wow. We are in this together, and we will continue to do this together. And I will see you all on Monday for my weigh-in video. And if you haven't already joined us on Facebook, my Facebook group is Debbie OMAD on Facebook. Phenomenal folks over there, so join us there. Male, female, age, none of that matters. Just join us. Lots of great information being shared, a lot of support and accountability, because we all need that, don't we? All right, guys, talk soon. Love y'all. We will do this together.